Okay, so what we are doing over here is, in our previous video, what we did is we actually had bunch of different images, and we classified those images based on it's a pizza, it's a burger, or it's a salad, right? So that was for the images. Now what we want to do is we want to actually classify the text. Is it a happy text or is it a sad text? So I think like I went online to Azure gallery.azure.ai, and over here there was a sentiment binary classification of Twitter sentiment analysis. I don't remember which one I picked up. So I went somewhere, and from there it was I just downloaded the text, the CSV file. So the CSV file that I had is over here, this one. So the CSV file, what it had is it had a bunch of different text, and then people classified that is it sad, is it happy, and stuff like that. So that's basically just a general kind of a thing that we actually did. So what we want to do is we want to actually go there, and we want to use that machine learning model to actually create a model so that if we pass a text to it, it'll figure out is it sad or is it happy. And there are around like 10,000 different texts in there. So the data set is actually big, so which is actually a very good thing for us. So let's actually create this, and we'll say start new playground. We'll check Mac OS and blank and click next. And then we'll say that this is happy or sad dot playground, and we will save it in our documents folder, and we'll say happy or sad. Okay, so we create it over here. Okay, so we'll maximize this, and we will say import core ML. And then what I will do is I'll copy and paste so that I don't waste time typing, and I'll just basically explain what is happening. Okay, so I'll remove this code, and I'll make sure that this is set to manual, and I'll say press this. Okay, so what we are doing is, first thing what we'll do is we'll say data is ML data table. And why is this complaining? ML data table, it should be CreateML. Oh, sorry, not core ML, it's called CreateML. Okay, so CreateML, what we'll do is core ML basically uses the machine learning. CreateML will create the machine learning model. So we'll say data is equal to ML data table. So we have to read the data table from a URL. The URL is file URL with path, and we basically gave it the path of where that file was. Okay. Then what we do is we have to divide it into a training data and a testing data. So for the training data and testing data, we will randomly split the data by 80 and 20. So we'll split it into 80 and 20, and seed is 5. Let's say I want to, random is never random. So if I want to repeat the same sequence, I'll pass, let's say 5. Okay. Then there is a sentiment classifier, which will be ML text classifier. In that, we will run our model, and we will pass the training data, which we get from here. And for we will go for the features column, which is, if we come over here and recent this one. So this is the features column where all the text is, and the answer that it is sad or happy is in the label. So we'll say that text column is the feature and the label column is the label. Okay, then we will so it will run the classifier on all the data which is there, and then it has to test for the remaining 20%. So we'll say evaluation matrix is equal to sentiment classifier dot evaluation to the testing on the testing data. So that's what it does. And then we'll say we'll have to figure out what's the accuracy. So the accuracy is 0.1 minus 1.0 minus evaluation matrix dot classification error. So whatever is the error, we subtracted from 1 and multiplied by 100 to actually give us the accuracy. And in the previous one, when we were creating the machine learning for the ML library for the vision, we basically added an author, a description, and stuff like that. So that's the metadata. So we are adding a metadata over here. So we'll say metadata is ML model metadata, author is this, and these are all the things. Okay. So then what we'll say is we'll say try sentiment classifier dot write, and we will write the sentiment classifier to a URL with the file URL path, and we are just putting it in the downloads happiness sadness classifier. Happy sad. Let's actually say happy sad. It's a big name. Happy sad classifier dot ML model. ML model is the one. Okay, so we'll comment this part, and we will run all of this from here till here. So we can see that it is tokenizing 10, 20. So there's like around 10,000 lines. So it'll take a little bit. And it has finished the iteration, and it successfully wrote the model over here. Let's actually test the model. So for testing the model, we'll say try sentiment classifier dot prediction, and we'll say that this is a very happy tweet. And you can see that it is running from line number 17 because it's already done till 17. So we need to run just one line. So we'll click over here, and it is saying that this is happiness. And if we say this is a sad day, and we run from oh, it's just running the whole thing. That's okay. So run all of that, happy sad classifier.ml model, and then that it said that this is sadness. I don't like sad things, so I'll say this is very, very happy day. Okay. So our model is saved over here. Let's actually create a new new project, and then we'll see how we can use that. Okay. So we will go to our Xcode, and we'll start a new Xcode project, and we'll say single view app next, and we'll say happy or sad. Okay, we'll just create. Okay, I won't do any fancy thing over here. I'll just come to the main storyboard, and I will just add a text field over here. Increase the size, and I'll say that this is placeholder is enter text, and then we will actually have a button. That button will say detect text, and then we will have a label. which will say happy or sad. Okay. I'm not going to make it look pretty or anything. We'll just have this thing. Okay. So next, what we want to do is we want to actually include our machine learning model that we actually just made. So we will go to our downloads, and there is a happy sad classifier.ml model, and we will alt drag and drop this over here, and we'll say finish. So when we click on this model, we can say that already this has generated all the classes and stuff like that. Next, what we want to do is we will add, we'll create outlets for all of this. So we will come over here and we'll say enter text, control, drag and drop, and we'll say txt sentiment text txt value, whatever, txt value, and this is lbl happy sad, and this is detect text. So we'll say control, drag and drop it over here, and we'll say detect text pressed. Okay, so that part is done for us. So we will go to the view controller and we'll come over here, and I will not bore you with writing code. So what I will do is I will actually just write the code for over here. Okay. So when the detect text is pressed, at that point, we will say, we will get the text value dot text. So whatever a person has typed, we get that value. And the result we will say is, so we will say let happy sad is equal to happy sad classifier. Okay, and we'll say happy sad dot prediction, and we'll pass this text. So, and happy sad will try to predict what the value is. We get the value, and we'll print the result dot label, and we'll say lbl happy sad dot text is equal to result dot label. So let's just run this and see if this actually works. I actually will not run it on my device. I'll just run it on the simulator. So we'll just run this over here. Okay, and this runs over here, and enter text. I'll say this is a great day, a great start. Okay, I will say detect text, and this is happiness, and I'll say this is not good. Detect text, it's sadness. Okay, I don't like sadness, so I'll say this is amazing. And I'll detect text, which is happiness. So as you can see, you have identified the images, you have identified the text, and we can actually classify and label that this text is this kind of thing, and this text is a different kind of thing. So that is for the core ML thing. Okay, thank you.